What's going on, everybody? I especially invite you to me and Nino Sweet 16. Let's get it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin. Ain't even had the goddamn bill on your pill. Every day I just be sipping chamomile. That's a pill. Everybody show up cause they know I'm here. Every week I be on her face. She think I'm set up.
Hey. Shout out to Rich Brian, first Asian hip hop artist to hit #1 on the iTunes charts. Shout out to you guys. You guys don't remember Rich Brian? His former name was Rich Chigga, y'all. Check him out.
Rich Chigga with the fanny pack on, you know,
stick,
rocking it.
Right,
yep.
right. People, y'all. Good album, good album. Recommend it.
Definitely. What's going on, everybody? Yes, and welcome to our Sweet 16. If you guys don't know, this is the Rap Game After Show, of course, and I am your host, Jimmy V. Twitter and Instagram at Be Your Own Dad. Of course, check the website, BeYourOwnDad.blogspot.com. Nino, let the people know who you are.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Nino, and I am back here at the Rap Game. So happy to be back. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And once again, yo, check out the homie, Rich Brian, y'all.
Nice.
Yo, and Jimmy, I'm not gonna let you keep going without telling the fans your news, brother.
Snap. So, my merch just sold out. So it's been a crazy weekend for me. So, shout out to everybody that did support the merch to sell me out for the first time. Your boy is ringing up though, so more hats are on the way. So be tuned. But I'm just happy I get to actually see my community just grow, and I can actually show them off now, which I post them all on Instagram. So
man,
you know,
super tangible.
Want to get down? Hop on the wave, man.
Look at that, building his empire.
Yes.
Sold out on the first hit.
That's the swag, man. But I wanted you to share what hip hop has done for Rich Brian.
Yeah,
you just said let him know.
This is interesting, y'all. So Rich Brian, formerly known as Rich Chigga, actually hit the #1 on his first album, Amen. I believe it's called Amen. #1 on the hip hop iTunes charts. First Asian ever to do so. Rich Brian, if you don't remember, he was that kid with a fanny pack and pink shirt. Had that viral song called
Rocked It Out, yeah.
Right, called Dad Stick. That went out there. He signed to this indie group called 88 Rising. I think he's just signed to them and another record label, but it's not like a big time record label.
Yeah.
So he kind of might do the Chance the Rapper type situation.
Yep. Oh, I got you.
But what's interesting about him is he learned English through hip hop.
That's crazy.
Through rapping.
Man. Yeah.
Through being a fan. And now you can't even tell that he's from Indonesia because he has no accent whatsoever.
That's so dope,
That's
man.
intense.
That
It's crazy.
speaks so much for the culture.
Right, definitely.
It's like it's not only music, it's a part of people's lives. Like you learned a whole nother language just by listening to their music.
Right, exactly.
That's
Isn't
crazy,
that
man.
crazy? Yeah, you gotta check him out if you want to see him
that's
perform
dope.
live. Check him out on James Corden. That was a dope one as he was basically celebrating his new album release.
There you go, man.
Ridiculous,
See?
really dope, guys.
That's what the rap game does, man.
Exactly.
But of course, this episode here, we did see a few things go down. The theme was the kids had to perform at the Sweet 16.
Right.
Do you remember what you did for your 16th birthday,
I don't
man?
remember what I did. Okay, I think I do remember what I did for my 16th birthday.
Okay.
So out here in LA, this is super LA. Out here in LA, there were clubs where you can go to if you were like 16 and over.
Wow,
Well, not
yeah.
16 and over, like 16 to 18. I think there was like a little
Right,
thing.
right. There's
like
a
teen
little
clubs,
gap there. Yeah.
Basically, that was out here in Hollywood. I forgot what it was called.
Yeah.
But it was out here in Hollywood. I think it was called Club 17 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I did that. I brought a whole bunch of my friends and we went out to this club. I think we had to be back home before midnight or something like that. And it started like at 8 o'clock. But we thought we were cool because we went out to party and have a good time or whatnot.
That's dope.
Sipping
Okay.
on some, what was it? Sprite.
Sprite.
Ginger ale.
That's right.
All that
the
good
clean stuff.
The clean stuff.
The clean stuff. Yeah.
Good wholesome fun.
Right.
At Club 17 on Hollywood and Highland.
Dope. Now these kids here, Jamie and Jalen, I guess they were paying attention to the radio at the right time.
Right.
Because Jermaine Dupri said, I'm going to throw somebody a surprise 16 birthday party.
Like what? That
with
doesn't
special
happen
performances,
ever.
right?
Yeah.
I know if I was 16, I'd have been like, "What?" I'd have been
You'd be dialing, right?
I'd have been so amped. Yeah, I'd have been calling every 2-3 seconds.
Yeah.
So that ended up becoming the kids' challenge this week was to perform at a Sweet 16,
Which is kind of cool because you remember MTV's Super Sweet 16.
I was thinking exactly
You know
that.
what I mean? Tiana Taylor is going to be on the show next week.
Next week, yep,
And
yep.
we basically kind of discovered Tiana during Sweet 16 for MTV,
Mm-hmm.
but she was already signed to Pharrell's label back then already.
Yeah,
But that's
yeah.
the first time we kind of heard about her. So imagine what these kids are thinking, like, oh, JD's throwing a party, Sweet 16, it's going to be
Right.
dope, there's a
It's gonna be lit.
stage, and I have to perform in front of my peers. Once again, performing in front of your peers or that age group that's right there in front of you, the same age group.
perfect.
It's perfect. It's also scary, right?
Oh yeah, because
they judge the most.
Yeah, right. And then watching this, you really saw who is really resonating with their group. You know?
Definitely, yeah.
And I thought it was very interesting as well to see the performances actually go down. I don't know about you. I was surprised.
Yeah, I was interested to see how the girls were going to perform together.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like the boys are easier to get along with. And because Rapunzel and
Ricky Biddy.
Ricky Biddy didn't have such a good,
They had some post beef,
Right.
I guess, after the battle rap.
Right.
But I thought we need to
Clap it up for them, right?
Because they said, squash it. We got this task that we have to take
Right.
care of. Let's just do it.
Positivity kills all, folks. So
It
if
does.
you saw that, it's a shining example of what you could do when you don't take the stress to hate another situation and just keep it moving in positivity.
Yes.
Namaste, y'all. Namaste.
Namaste. I actually did want to bring up before even the whole episode began, Street Bud mentioned that he's been performing at birthday parties.
Yo!
This is nothing new to him.
That's crazy. He performed
he said for two
Chainz
for
Kids?
2 Chainz Kids.
Miss Mulatto,
Mulatto,
Nia K too,
Nia
right?
K. That's right.
That's what?
So I got to give a big shout out to Corey, which is his manager, because she's already
Yeah.
had him on this path.
Right, he's this momager,
And he's only 12.
and he's only 12 exactly. Has taken Atlanta by storm. We didn't even know it. That's really dope.
Very dope. Yes, exactly. Shout out to everybody in our chat room. We appreciate you guys for always joining us.
Yes.
One time. So let's dive into this episode here. So pretty much JD said you guys are going to be performing, but we're going to switch it up this time around. It's going to be girls versus boys.
Right.
Well, which was cool. Keep things new, I guess.
was fresh,
Which the teams was Lil Bree, Ricky Biddy, Rapunzel,
Right.
versus Street Bud and Jordan. Now, off bat, who did you think was gonna take this?
For some reason, I automatically drew to the girls that they were going to come cohesively together, and they definitely did. And we'll
Definitely
talk
did.
about that.
Yeah.
For some reason, I felt like they were just, especially with the parents that were there, you know what I mean, that were helping coach the situation.
Yeah.
I think that for some reason, deep down, I was like, I feel like they might just kill it. They might just do it. Although I was really interested to see how Jordan and Street Bud's personalities were gonna, come together, because one's a little bit more laid back,
That's right.
and the other one's a little bit more hyper.
More turned up.
Right, more lit.
Lit,
You
right,
know?
yeah,
More
exactly.
Lit. You
Yeah.
know, this was filmed a couple of like a while ago, because
Yeah, exactly.
About lit was a whole new word.
It's a new word being used,
Right.
but matter of fact, I think lit came from Travis Scott. I think that's when I first heard him. It was a song, We Lit. I
might-
forget whatever the song was.
What year was that? Was that 2016,
That's like,
2017?
yeah.
Something
around
like
there.
that. But like different parts of the U.S. have different words, right?
Definitely true.
Right. Jersey
Definitely
got,
true.
like, it's mad crazy. It's mad,
Mad
brick out
crazy.
here.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It's brick out,
It's
son.
brick outside. You know what I mean? And here we use the word hella quite a lot. You know what I mean?
Which that has now become a part of my vocabulary
Yo,
now,
it's
being that
hard.
I've been in here for 3 years.
It's hard to not have that a part of your vocabulary when you're here in California.
So true.
That was a NorCal Bay thing, though, and it just came
Really?
in as, SoCal.
You know what? That's actually true. That's true, because when I first visited Cali, I went up to the Bay.
Yep.
And that's where I heard hella this.
Yeah.
And then I went back east. They were like, Jimmy, what are you saying?
Well, what does hella mean?
I was like, look, I've been on the West Coast. I found out some stuff, okay? Jeff, if you could maximize minimize our comment screen just so we can see? Yeah, thank you. That'd be perfect. All right, man. Oh, shout out to D Noel in the chat room. She is one of the greatest supporters out there.
Yeah,
of course.
What's up? How are you?
So, I mean, let's dive right into it. So, I think we got to give much props to the managers because I think creativity played a big part.
Yo, they saw something
in this episode,
and they put it together pretty damn well, I think.
Yeah, they made their hook up.
Yeah.
They made their hook before they even got the beat.
Right.
And they actually just decided to stick with it, and it matched.
It matched pretty well. It matched pretty well, and just the way, like, so let's talk about the girls, right? Just the way they knew how they had to bring them together cohesively as far as, like, let's go ahead and give them some choreography. Yo, shout out to Reginald.
Which he came through with the...
I'm not sure if he's an Alpha Phi Alpha, but I think he might be.
Might be, yeah.
But he was definitely stepping away, and he used that to his advantage for the girls' choreography. I think the bandanas were dope with them as well, too.
Yeah.
But each of them had some sort of prop and some sort of, like, niche to their songs.
Performance,
Although the girls didn't have a birthday song, they were still super lit, super crazy. The guys, they definitely try to incorporate that because they were thinking JD, you know, JD thoughts, like, if JD says he wants a birthday song, he's gonna get a birthday song.
Yeah, and I thought that was very smart on their part because not only are you performing, you're performing at someone's party, so why not incorporate with them?
Right.
I thought it was interesting. I don't think the guys got enough credit that they should have for actually doing that compared to the girls only making a song about haters.
And I think it's because the girls were just so polished and it just looked so performance ready that kind of just overtook what JD was initially thinking. Because usually JD's that type of guy, was like, this is the task that I asked you to do, yet you didn't quite do it. But this time I think the performance was too good to be like, to stop him in the tracks from actually saying, you didn't really follow exactly what I said, so I'm going to duck you some points, because of how well put together they were.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And performance really came down to what separated them.
Yeah,
like
I think that's true.
Like a B.O.B. mentioned, he said they look very in sync.
Yeah, very in sync, very cohesive, very well put together.
Yeah.
They practiced and they knew what was up, and I think if they were able to, their energy was up too. But if they had the same energy as the boys did, because the boys' energy was off the chain, was off the Richter.
Well, one of them was. The other one was kind of playing catch up.
Though. His breath was definitely having issues.
Yeah,
and he was trying. But if they were to have that along with the girls' performance, they would have. It would have been for sure they won right away, even without the boys performing. You know what I mean?
I believe it. Yeah. So then move on. They start to practice. Rapunzel, she's starting to get sick.
Yo,
which is like a common theme that we're starting to see within the house. Last week it was Lil Bree, right?
No,
exactly.
Seriously.
Wow.
But like the flu this year, and I mean this was filmed beforehand, has been the worst flu epidemic in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So you can just imagine this just played out so perfectly as far as when they debuted it. Because when you're in a house filled with people that you see all the time,
it's contagious too.
It's super contagious.
Yeah.
So I wasn't mad at her for feeling like, I don't want to get sick, Bree. I feel you, but you need to stay over there. But then she ended up getting sick. But sometimes I think when you worry too much, also, your immune system ends up just like shutting down because you're so worried, and then you'll get sick even more.
Which is why I want to give extra props to Rapunzel, because she didn't bring up the fact that she was sick until after the performance. I feel like she could have said, "Oh no, I'm sick. I'm not gonna do this." Use that as an excuse, but she kind of toughened it out.
Or even told JD, because she took that break while they were practicing, saying, "Yeah, I don't feel that great." But she didn't have to go to the point where she just was out the whole time.
Right.
And if JD, I think, had known that beforehand,
I think he'd have pulled her.
He might have pulled He might have pulled her, or might have scored her differently.
Yeah.
On the board or whatnot.
Yeah.
But it's hard to perform when you under the weather.
Very hard. Yeah. And too, JD noticed.
I've been on here and I've been super sick at one of my shows, and all you can hear.
And you don't even know.
All you can hear is That's all you could hear.
Right. So, but yeah, she definitely thugged it out and still did. I think she still did a good job.
She thugged it out and did her thug thizzle.
Boom. So move on. So they did the practice. The boys begin to practice too. At this point, I'm feeling very confident in their performance
And what they were doing. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. Did you catch what Corey was said before they found out they were performing for a guy and girl? When they thought they were just performing for Jamie.
A girl, yeah.
They said, "Oh yeah, we had it all together. The guys were gonna take off their shirts and it's gonna say Happy Birthday on their chest." I'm like,
I didn't.
She
hear
said that. I was like, "Oh, wait, Street Buzz 12 and homie's 15,
Right,
and this is a 16-year-old birthday party." She was thinking beyond. She was thinking beyond that.
Down there.
But I was like, "That's pretty funny." But I think it worked out in favor,
Right.
you
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
of the Lifetime viewers that they kept their shirts on for this performance.
I can't forget to mention, I thought it was dope that JD actually brought the group to the girl's house to actually surprise her
Yeah.
and say, "Hey, happy birthday. We'll be performing at your party."
And she was so excited and so thankful.
She
for
was
it.
amped, yeah.
Both of them
yeah.
actually were really, really nice kids who got this opportunity, and they're super thankful.
Especially
about
at 16.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, if I got that, I'd have been so happy. What?
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you didn't even think about it. Your birthday was around the corner, probably thinking, "Yo, what am I gonna do?
I might go out for some dinner, and that's about
Right.
it.
I'm
you
gonna go
know?
watch a movie with my friends or something like that. Have a party at a bowling alley." Shout out to bowling alley parties. I did that when I was younger too.
Yeah. I've done them too.
You know, but this
Roller skating ring.
roller skating rink, exactly. But this is off a whole nother, off the Richter scale, like I kept on saying, because when JD says, "I'm gonna throw you a party," you better be excited.
He throws you a party. Yeah.
He
So
definitely did it.
let's get right down to the performances. The girls went first.
Yeah,
And they killed it.
yeah. They were so in sync.
Yeah.
The bandanas I thought were ridiculous. Like they were so good. Reginald's step,
That perfect.
so good, right?
And then what it was too, they took it serious,
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, when you do this step, make sure you definitely, boom,
Right, hit it.
focused."
Focus, hit it, make sure you're all good. Another thing too is that I was happy about Ricky Biddy changing up her cadence and making it a little faster.
Yeah, this Nicki Minaj,
Right.
not to go on her or anything, but she switched it up to a faster flow, which
Yeah.
definitely benefited.
No, it did. I think, and that made her realize, yo, I could do something else besides the same cadence that I've done the whole time. It's almost like when you think about Cardi B, and all you hear from her in the beginning was her, da 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 da, and then you hear the Bruno Mars Finesse remix.
Drop top Porsche,
Right,
rollie on my wrist, diamonds all on my chain.
Cardi B straight stuck and caught me and I changed the game.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, yo, that's totally different, and I like it. So I know
like
that you
that
could
too.
be versatile now.
Versatile. That's what it was.
That's dope,
yeah.
and like to see her do that was really, really cool. And obviously, although she was under the weather, Rapunzel still did well to me.
She still did. She still performed. They were all in sync and it looked good.
Right. And Little Bree.
Lil Bree
My homegirl Little Bree.
came through. Her bars shut down.
Oh,
her
my
bars
God.
shut down. Jermaine Dupri said, "Oh man, Lil Bree just hopped up on there and she took control of the stage."
Right.
And which is what we at this point expect her to do.
Right? Because there's only 2 more weeks left.
2 more weeks.
2 more weeks left. So what are you gonna do? You got to step up, definitely. What's up, fam? Zia's
What's poppin',
Bilu,
fam?
another one who's always in the chat. Thank you so much.
Loyal.
Right? Yes,
You
yes.
you smart. You loyal. We appreciate that. So they did great, and it was the chorus of their song that got the party hype.
Right. And then they started off with letting people know, yo, repeat after me. This is what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
What was it? Something haters over there. I wish I remember.
Haters to the left, something to the right, or something like that.
But
I
it
ain't gonna
was-
lie, I didn't.
I
copy
forgot.
It. Yeah.
It was funny because when they were singing, I heard the hook in my head and I was like doing it myself. But no, they did a good job with that. And then the boys.
The boys, I thought they did good. Of course, I don't know, Jordan Air, he was not there.
His air wasn't there.
Regular Jordan came back.
Yeah. His air was missing from the Jordan Air. Like, he needed some breaths in between or whatnot.
And I guess he forgot his lyrics or not, ran out of breath. Even JD said, I'm not sure what went on, but he needed to find out.
Right, and Jordan said that he didn't forget his lyrics. He just ran out of the air. So I think his flow and his cadence messed up a little bit. Yeah. Plus, they had to add on that extra name in it as well, too.
Right, which kind of messed up.
Right, which I'm pretty sure messed up the whole flow or whatnot. But after, he pulled through that, Street Bud came through, and Street Bud's was dope.
Turn up.
Yeah, turn up king. Turn up prince.
I mean, he was doing all the dances. I mean, he was all the way up.
Yeah, no, he was all the way up. And it was funny because JD said, yo, I think Street Bud's trying to outperform, Jordan.
Which I kind of felt the same, but at the same time, he knew Jordan was lacking.
Yeah.
And I laugh at Street Bud's commentary and stuff because he keeps it real.
No, he does.
He's like, I knew he was gonna mess up. Oh my gosh.
I knew this was gonna happen in person. I just knew it. I was like, damn, Street Bud.
Right, he's like, he definitely holds him to the fire as if, I'm gonna go hard. I need you to meet me here.
Right.
If not, I'm gonna come at you.
That's so hard because when you're in a whole different level as far as like your steez and your rap, and you come with somebody like a Street Bud.
Not to mention he's 12.
Yeah.
I think Jordan's what, 15?
Yeah, 15 or something like that. That's crazy. But the different styles of rap though, right?
Different styles.
Different styles of rap.
Definitely.
Yo, here's a lyric. It says, this is from, who's this? Jalen Phillips.
Hey.
If you a hater, you could keep that over there. That's right.
Keep it over there. Hey, keep that over there.
Right.
Hey. For sure.
The hook definitely matters, especially in Atlanta.
What's the hook? Oh, especially in
the
A.
South, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they do their performances. One thing I also wanted to mention about the guys' performances, they did have the flashlights.
That was cool.
They passed them out in the crowd. I thought it was good. In a way, it saved their performance.
It definitely helped it a lot.
Because it helped it a lot.
Yeah.
I think if they didn't have their performance would have lacked some, but they brought the birthday girl and boy on stage, which was a plus.
Yeah.
Because once again, if I was the birthday boy and I got brought on stage at my party, I'd have been amped.
I mean, it's just like us here. When it's our birthday and the DJ says, "Yo, happy birthday to Jimmy V."
This is
me.
My party. That's right. That's me. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Turn up. It's my party.
That's exactly. Press those horns.
Yeah.
That's me.
So once again, they kept the birthday people in mind and they made it about them, which I thought was good. I thought that would give them more points when it came to the hit list.
Definitely. This brings me to whose beef was this? Was this Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj?
Mm-hmm.
So remember,
Sheetha.
Right.
Sheetha.
Remember, Remy Ma came with a straight diss track, right? Mm-hmm. And Nicki Minaj came with it was a diss track, but it was
with Lil Wayne and Drake.
Right. So it was actually a record, not really a diss track. This is kind of like what the girls did to the boys. Their song was actually a record that they could put out there. You know what I mean? And the boys was meant especially for.
Good point.
Actual, you know what I'm saying? Connection.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Connection.
Yeah.
This is something that the girls could sell.
Right.
This is something the boys could give us a download for free at the party.
True statement.
I'm just saying.
True statement.
Think about the monetization.
That's right.
Build your empire.
Woo,
sold out.
Look at that.
Be your own dad. Stay hype, y'all. Stay lit, fam.
He getting me hype over here. So let's move on to the hit list.
Mm-hmm. Hit list.
Before we get into it, did you agree with the hit list?
I agreed with the hit list. You know what? I was wondering if they were even gonna do a hit list because it was boys versus girls.
Yeah.
So it's almost kind of hard to really separate.
Compare
it,
right?
Compare it. I would think it would just be a challenge. Boys won, girls won. Which one is it? And that was it. But I kind of see how JD put this together, and it seems right to me.
After I looked at it, I was only mad at
which one?
Where Street Bud, because
you thought he would have been a little higher,
and he saved their performance.
Right, and the only reason why I think JD put him there was just because the boys lost. Otherwise,
Right.
I think he would have been switched with Rapunzel.
Facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
I get you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So just if you guys aren't familiar with the hit list, Jordan Non-Air came in number 5.
Shout to you, Jordan. Though you know I'm still a fan.
Right. We're still fans of you. So Jordan came number 5. Street Bud came in number 4.
Right.
Rapunzel came number 3. Ricky Biddy, which I thought this was big, came in 2. And Lil Bree came in 1.
Exactly.
So, like I said, I agree with most of it. Besides, if we could switch Rapunzel and Street Bud, then I'd feel more at home with the hit.
I definitely see that switch. I would agree with that switch at that point. And I think for this performance, I think everyone kind of felt right where they were. Or besides the top 2, obviously Ricky would definitely want to hit number 1 or whatnot. But I think everyone was almost satisfied where they were. Jordan seemed a little confused.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he probably messed up the most out of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, because he did run out of breath or whatever he did, JD noticed.
Right.
So,
I mean, they got 2 weeks now.
They do.
One is a challenge and the other one's a performance. So, you never know what's going to happen.
And it's time to get that chain day.
Man. Sign to that
So, let's get into some predictions then, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Woo, woo, woo.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV.
So next week we see them doing some press work.
Yes.
Media work.
Yo, man, we know how press is.
And we can talk about it. I mean, we do this.
Right. We know how press is. We know what good answers are and what bad answers are.
And what bad answers are, yeah. Based on the trailer so far for next week, looks like a few people might stumble.
Right. Some people didn't really have the words to express what they really wanted to say or kind of messed up on it. But that's why media training is there. So I'm not sure how much media training they're going to get pre this global, Global 14, Global, JD, what's your
Yeah.
14, Global 15, something like that?
It's Global 14.
Global 14,
Yeah.
like before that press list with JD's company or whatnot.
Right.
A press event with JD's company. I don't know how much media training they're going to get before then. Hopefully good enough to get them set and ready, but some people just have it naturally.
Some people do and some people don't.
Yeah,
exactly. I think it all comes down to personality.
Definitely.
One thing that I've learned, especially, doing carpets, doing things over here at AFTERBUZZ Studio.
AFTERBUZZ Studio.
I think you just have to get in your comfort zone, man. And a lot of times, especially when you're speaking with somebody that you don't even know, it's hard to get in your comfort zone because you don't have any relationship with that person.
I think the hardest ones are those press junkets that you do in the movies for,
yes,
or whatnot, because it's literally just you
and
the person or the cast right there.
Yeah.
So you have to connect with them somehow. This is way different than a carpet.
Way
different than that big press junket that we saw that they're going to be at, because there's multiple reporters, there's multiple people out there on the panel, receiving this press or whatnot. But when you have to connect to somebody individually, that's probably the hardest. But I think you also should, once you could do that, you have to make sure you're able to do that in a big room with a whole bunch of people.
And I'm gonna share an experience here and name drop one time.
Go ahead, name drop.
I did a movie junket with Bryan Cranston.
Okay.
So he is Mr. Breaking Bad, of course. If you guys aren't familiar, Malcolm in the Middle, and it was for the film, where he played a gangster role once again, which I should know of it. Oh, Infiltrator.
Okay.
So, but I just wanted to share, when you step into these press rooms, first of all, it's like dark, and then it's like lit over here with the actors there, right? And you got all the camera people behind you, makeup artists, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, you got two minutes. And then you take a seat. And when I took the seat, I was like, oh man, here we go. Because one, I'm actually a fan of him.
Right.
So I was always like, if I ever meet this person, what am I gonna say? Blah, blah, blah. So I was stuck in my head. So it took me about a minute to actually get into the normal me. But that first minute or so, I was kind of shook. I wasn't sure what to say. Luckily, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
So with these with these press junket things, man, is it can go left or it can go right. You
True,
know?
Definitely. And like with these kids, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. Looks like Jordan had a little bit of a hard time in the previews for what he was trying to get out. But, you know, that's just the previews. He might have turned it around and made it really good or whatnot. Sometimes people just stumble on their words, on their thoughts mostly. You know what I mean? It's not even their words. It's stumbling on their thoughts of what they're going to say. We do that all the time here.
All the time.
On the show.
But the question is, you don't know when we do it.
Right, exactly. We just put in other words that we think would be part of that sentence to keep it going, so there is no resting point.
Facts, that's right.
What I just did right now.
And he planned that.
Totally planned that. You know what I mean? No dead air.
That's
no
right.
dead air.
No dead air. So I think this next episode here will definitely be, it'll be a test to see where people are professionally and if they can take the heat.
Right. And Tiana Taylor's going to be there?
Tiana Taylor, that's right, which is dope, you know. Another special appearance guest. Earlier, I mentioned B.O.B. was on this episode.
Right. They're pulling out all the stops.
They are, yeah. I remember, season 1 or 2? JD had Mariah Carey.
JD had a whole bunch
Usher,
of people,
Luda.
Yeah.
He was definitely bringing out the people.
Right. And it's definitely being supported. Obviously, we're here after how many seasons already?
Right, exactly. We on our 4th season.
4th season.
Wow.
4th season, y'all.
4th season strong.
Yeah.
And the fans are still rocking with us because we would not be here without you
and
guys.
I think they got renewed again for a couple more. So
all the kids love it.
Yeah.
The kids want to be on it.
Yeah.
And ratings are booming.
That's good.
Boom.
For me.
JD does again, which we have to give him a big congratulations.
Yeah,
he
man.
is going in the the Songwriter Hall of Fame, I believe, or
he's doing a lot, but he's also getting recognized this Thursday at the Global Spin Awards.
This man working.
Yeah, this man's working. Catch that on Revolt TV, but he's going to be receiving an honor, for his achievement throughout his years, and JD's killing it.
Yes, the Breaking Barrier Award at the Global Spin Awards, February 22nd.
Right.
Also, I got this Songwriters Hall of Fame inductee.
That's what it is, man. There's only 2 people who've ever gotten that award from the hip hop realm.
Right.
Him and Jay-Z.
There you go. This is 6th year for the Global Spin Awards, y'all. Catch me there. I will be there on Thursday. If you see me, say
Nino's
what's up.
POV.
It will be dope to see you guys there too.
That's dope, man. And of course, I am your boy Jimmy V. Twitter, Instagram at Be Your Own Dad.
Hey, we got an outro.
Blog, BeYourOwnDad.blogspot.com. If you guys want to get down with building your empire, pre-order now, because trust me, they going off the rack. You feel me?
There we go.
Nino, let them know where they can find you.
Yo, what's going on? Wait, first off, this is my song from Tiana Taylor.
Hey.
16. Oh my God. Okay, get it. All right, so y'all, it's your boy. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Check out my website, thefifthelementmag.com, for all the latest and greatest on hip hop, fashion, and lifestyle, y'all.
Catch y'all next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only, do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Got a swag to it, kinda got a swag to it.